let me know, or else let me figure out the next topic that I want to discuss with you guys. Okay. So I hope guys I'm audible, and as I told, feel free to kind of interrupt me whenever you have any questions. And now I will be kind of discussing another topic, which is DNS discovery. Okay. So before proceeding with this topic, just give me 1 minute. I'll quickly grab some water and kind of quickly come back. Just give me 1 second. 1 minute. Okay, guys. So now let's resume our discussion on the next topic, that is DNS discovery attacks. Okay. So let me just go to my notes. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So the first thing in DNS discovery, what I mean to say is that, um, let's say as an attacker, I wanted to kind of, let's say I wanted to kind of attack the website facebook.com, for example. Okay. Another thing is that to know its IP address, so the first thing we should know is the IP address. So what we can do is that definitely we can get the IP address of facebook.com from its name server, okay, or we can just do a DNS lookup and we can kind of get the IP address. But the thing is that normally when there are like a lot of attacks ongoing for the facebook.com, it's not just that the attacker try to kind of figure out the IP address of this facebook.com, but they also try to find out the subdomains of facebook.com. Okay. So let's say, for an example, for google.com, what they will do is that they will not just attack google.com. They will try to find out its subdomains. So for an example, let's say mail.google.com, let's say, for example, videos.google.com, or let's say photos.google.com. So it may turn out, so it happens in most of scenarios, is that maybe you are, as an attacker, maybe you are not able to find out bug, you are not able to kind of find a bug in this google.com, which would kind of provide you, let's say, remote code execution on the server, RC on the server. Okay. But maybe its subdomains, either one of its subdomain, like let's say videos.google.com, has not properly configured, for an example. Okay. And let's say this is only the one domain of videos.google.com which was not properly configured, and as an attacker you got hold of, let's say you found some bug on this website, and somehow let's say you were able to kind of have the capability to execute remote code execution on the server. Okay. On the server, IP address that has been allocated to videos.google.com, for example. Okay. So let's say google.com IP address was 3.4.2, and maybe the mail.com IP address would be something different. Let's say it is hosted on a different server, and let's say the IP address of this mail.google.com is 6.3. something like this. Okay. And then you figure out, let's say, the videos.google.com IP address is something like this. Okay. In similar manner, photos.com has a different IP address, let's say something like this. Okay. Now, thing is that as an attacker, the first thing we need to know is that what are the subdomains. Okay, what are the subdomains over here? Like the subdomains over here, readers.google.com or photos.google.com and all. And then we also need to know their IP addresses. Okay, so we have a lot of things to kind of work out. So, thing is that how we can kind of know what are the steps by which we can kind of know all the subdomains which I'm highlighting right now of a specific root domain like google.com, for example. Okay. So this will kind of, what will happen is that once we're able to kind of find out, it will actually increase the attack surface area for us. Okay. So what will happen is that so our attack surface area was previously only google.com, but now our attack surface area has kind of increased, and we also have like a lot of other IP addresses for all the other subdomains of google.com that we can attack on, and maybe one of that domain was not properly configured, and we were, as an attacker, we were able to kind of, let's say, get hold of the server remotely, for example. Okay. Now the thing is that our task is that how to kind of find this kind of things, like how to find the subdomains and all. So there are three different ways to kind of do that. Okay, so I will kind of go through three different ways, okay, to do that, and let's kind of figure out one by one. The first way will be utilizing passive DNS and OS init. Okay, the next thing will be zone transfer, and the third thing will be brute forcing. Okay, so before kind of going through all these three steps, let me just quickly go to the slides. Let me see if I have anything interesting to kind of discuss on the slide. Let me just go through that. There's something we saw. And okay, guys. So one of the thing I wanted to just quickly, I have certain thing which I wanted to kind of check with you guys. So from the slides that you are kind of seeing right now, okay. So can you tell us? Can you tell me like what might be one of the suspicious entry over here? Like what this entry is about? That's the first thing. And the other thing is that what can be one of the suspicious entry over here? Can you just guys let me know over here? And the reason for that, just from this slide that I'm setting over you, what this log is all about, and what can be one of the suspicious entry over here. Any idea? Any suggestions? Maybe I'll give you 30 seconds to figure out that.
So the port that they are using is HTTP.
Yes.
And the domain names are not genuine. Like it is not like normal thing. It looks like it looks suspicious when we are looking at the domain names.
Like which domain you are specifying to?
I'm specifying the first one, sir, the 10.0.2.15.
Correct.
That
yes.
thing we have here.
Yeah, correct. So correct answer. The thing is that over here, it's a HTTP request traffic, where this is the IP address which is trying to kind of visit this domain. And the thing is that what makes it a little bit
yeah, there is one more thing that we can point out. Like we are seeing a request like MS download is there. That seems suspicious. And there is one more like URL encoded. So and it is going to some random domain. When we see the